And we are in the kitchen with chefs Gabriele Pianezze, I love it, I love that name, and Tom Parker from Salvatore's Pizzeria and Italian Ristorante. I like your name too, Thomas, don't you worry. So what are you guys working on this morning?
Oh, we're going to work on an appetizer dish, an Eggplant Caprese, which is like fresh eggplant, and our fresh mozzarella, which we make it at the restaurant every morning, and tomatoes and basil and extra virgin olive oil.
And you have?
Gnocchi alla Romana. We're going to use potato gnocchi. We made that previously, otherwise that'd take the whole show to show you how. It was a little assaggio cream sauce with some peas and prosciutto, fresh mozzarella baked on top.
So I think it's, like I said this morning, it's a little bit of heaven in the kitchen.
Yes.
So that's going to be really, really nice. We're looking forward to it. We're going to get started with that in just a moment. We are back now in the kitchen with Gabriele Pianezze and Thomas Parker, chefs and co-owners of Salvatore's Pizzeria and Italian Ristorante in Virginia Beach and Suffolk. Today they're making a couple of their favorites. First, we are going to start with the Eggplant Caprese. So, tell us a little bit about that.
We are, frying some eggplants here, and then we're gonna assemble with the fresh mozzarella and tomatoes, and bake it for a few minutes, and put some basil and our balsamic glaze, and the dish is done.
That sounds awesome. So what makes a good eggplant? If someone wants to go to the store to pick out an eggplant to try to create this, what advice do you have for them?
Oh, has to have the color, purple, not too many black spots and not so soft. And the eggplant is good. I mean, it's very hard to find a bad eggplant, but
oh, that's good. So it's one of the easier vegetables to find, I guess, right?
Yes.
Now you said that you actually make the mozzarella at
the
restaurant each day?
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that.
We have a guy at the restaurant, and it comes like at 7:30 in the morning, and
I love that the restaurant has a guy. That's
know,
right, they got a guy.
Yeah, exactly. And he does everything, and his name is Enzo, and he makes this fresh mozzarella every day from from scratch. So without water and milk and the curd and everything, and the mozzarella is very good.
Oh, that's wonderful. So now you've cooked the eggplant. What's your next step? What are you going to do next?
Okay, the next step, we're gonna plate it on this one, so it dries off a little bit from the oil.
That's just so it doesn't get too soggy
too soggy. And we waited like a few seconds.
You need them to cool down a little bit first?
Oh,
before you do anything
no.
next?
Then we're gonna, give me this one, and then we're gonna plate it on the aluminum dish, and we put the eggplant, and then we put the tomato, and a slice of mozzarella.
And it's so nice that everything's so fresh.
And a leaf of basil. Then we're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, making good food's not really that difficult.
And we're gonna
simple
stack it up.
Yeah. Simple, fresh ingredients.
It's more the combination of ingredients. You have like 10, basic 5-10 combinations. You can make infinite dishes.
Oh yeah, you can make some great stuff. So while Gabrielle's doing this, Thomas, tell me about, you have 2 different locations.
Yeah, we have 2
and you're
locations.
Combining everything online, getting folks aware.
We have one in Suffolk on Main Street near the downtown area. We've been there for about 7 years.
Yeah.
And we've had Salvatore's for about 4, but we've never really focused on making sure people know it's the same.
Right.
They're separate, but they're connected. So now we're working on social media, websites, our reviews on Urban Spoon and Yelp, trying to make sure everybody knows that you go to either location, you'll get the same quality food, the same fresh, everything prepared, everything's made fresh to order. And like we said, we have an older guy who preps everything. I mean, the sausage, the meatball, he's there 8 to 10 hours a day prepping all day long. So.
Is it a challenge to get everything blended together now? Or
No, not really.
We've had them for a while.
We've had a good crew at Salvatore's, and we've been able to train them there and then move them over to Suffolk, so that way we can maintain consistency for both stores.
That's great. What do you have here now? So we saw you putting the oil over top after you stacked.
Yes, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for a few minutes.
Okay.
And the dish will be done.
Oh, that's great. That seems fairly quick and simple too.
Yes, it is.
Is this one of your, what would you say is your favorite dish? Is this one of your favorites for the appetizers?
Yes, yeah, it's it's healthy and fresh and nice. And
you'd never say no anyway, would you? Because I mean, this is your restaurant.
Exactly.
It's pretty, it does, everything looks great, it smells fresh, and I think it is really interesting that you have someone who comes in, preps the stuff, makes that cheese, gets everything ready in the morning for you.
Yes.
I think that's a really unique element to your restaurant that folks would be excited about.
Well, you could buy stuff pre-made, and it just doesn't have the same home feel to it. And you spend a little bit more money, but we'd rather invest that money into a person, into someone that he wants to work. He has a passion. He owned a butcher shop and like a little deli in Italy. So when he came here, and we naturally were like, you could do everything good. Let's do it our way, and we work together, coming up with the recipes for everything. So
it's the real deal. I
Yes.
love that. That's
Authentic.
great. So next, in our next segment, you're going to be starting with the gnocchi.
Gnocchi, yes, it's potato gnocchi. There's two different kinds. You can do one with flour. Personally, I like the potato gnocchi. It's a little richer, a little more flavor from the potatoes. So we prepared this actually last night, so we didn't have to spend the whole show.
Takes a
showing
long
you.
time, huh?
Well, not too long, but it's got to cool properly. You got to cut
Right.
it and form it with the balls or whatever. So
Okay.
we have it pre-made. You can buy gnocchi. We actually have gnocchi that we sell just like our fresh mozzarella.
Oh, that's great.
But you can come in and buy the fresh mozzarella. We sell it by the ball. It's probably cheaper than the grocery store, honestly.
Hey, that's good to know. I'll be stopping by too, just for that.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll check back with you in just a few minutes once that comes out of the oven, and then we'll start cooking this. Can't wait. We are back now in the kitchen with Gabriele Pianezze and Thomas Parker, chefs and co-owners of Salvatore's Pizzeria and Italian Ristorante in Virginia Beach. Today, and in Suffolk, so you have in both locations. Today, they're making a couple of their favorites. We've already done the eggplant, which looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait for that. And now we're moving on to the gnocchi.
Gnocchi. I've heated some butter. It's important that you brown the butter a little bit. Gives it a little bit of flavor. I'm putting some fresh peas. The thing about gnocchi, you can use anything. You can use portobello mushrooms. I mean, people use peas,
yeah.
snap peas. I mean, pretty much whatever vegetable you like. You can even chop up eggplant and put it in there. We chose peas. We're going to make a cream sauce with a little bit of Asiago cheese and some Parmesan. When we finish it off, we're going to bake it with fresh mozzarella, some prosciutto, and a little bit of Italian breadcrumbs. Just gives like a little crunchy kind of something different. You can use Italian breadcrumbs or the panko breadcrumbs. Either one really works well.
Okay.
So same thing, we're going to bake it. Right now I'm letting the peas kind of sear a little bit, lock in the flavor and the juices.
How can you tell when they're pretty much done? You just kind of know a certain
Yeah, I mean, you
time.
just kind of know. I mean, they're peas. You can eat them raw, so it's
Yeah,
not.
that's very true. It's not like you're
you
gonna
have
get
to worry
hurt
about.
if
Yeah,
they're
you have
not-
to worry about anything so
Didn't know
much.
if you want a certain texture
Well,
or not.
I didn't have this on the recipe, but I added a little bit of nutmeg. It's holiday season. Nutmeg has a good flavor. I like
Yeah.
it in the Romano personally myself. So.
What does the nutmeg add to that?
It's kind of got that nutty, a little bit of nutty flavor. It's like when you eat a dish and you can't quite put your finger on what's that other flavor. That's
Yeah.
what the nutmeg is.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it's not like an overwhelming, powerful flavor, but it's
Do you love
just-
doing that to people too? Do you like to kind of have them guess a little?
Yeah,
Like,
all the
what
time
is
in the
that?
restaurant, people come in and they're like, "Oh, I taste something different," because they can, they pick out like the garlic and the basic stuff. But
Right.
like, what's that other one? I'm like, that's the love. That's the secret. I can't tell you all the secrets.
That's
so.
what keeps them coming back for more,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. So you put a little bit of cream. You want to wait for the cream to get frothy, and then you want to put some Parmesan so you can thicken it up. And you can make this to take, if you like it thicker, you like it looser. I make it a little loose because we are going to bake it. I don't
Right,
want it coming
so
out like a
that'll-
paste, so.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be the best.
No, it wouldn't
thing
be. And then we have the gnocchi, which we made this morning at the restaurant, well, actually last night. But.
So what does it take? You said actually just kind of cutting it and cooling it might take the
Yeah,
longest.
you have to.
or-
You take the potatoes. You have to puree the potatoes, and you add, some eggs, a little bit. We use a little bit of flour with the potato just to kind of help make it sticky.
Right.
You puree it all up. You can put flavors if you want. Like we've done basil gnocchi. We can put the basil in there. Some pepper if you like pecorino or something like that. This is a basic gnocchi because I've got enough flavors in here.
Right.
And then you just make. Some people you can sheet it and like cut it out in like little cookie kind of shapes. Even for like holidays, you can make like little pumpkins or Halloween or whatever.
Oh,
little
yeah. Oh,
decorations.
that's
But
fun.
we make the traditional gnocchi balls, and then we put the that's what's talking about, the froth, and then we put it in the fridge and let it cool, and then we serve it to our customers. So we make gnocchi at least once, twice a week usually. It's more of a special dish. It's not on the menu, but we have it available most days. We have it.
So if someone comes in and asks for it, there's a good chance you
Good
you
chance
have
we'll
it
have
there.
it, yes. And if not, we'll whip it up as fast as we can. So that's one thing about our restaurants. If we don't have it and you're willing to wait, we'll make it. If you come
Yeah,
in with a
that's
group
nice.
and you're like, oh, I want this, and we run all the time to the grocery store and like buy stuff last minute. It's like we break even on the pricing, but it's more about making the customer happy. Like we want our customers to come in and feel like we went above and beyond to
Right.
make them happy. We have groups that come in. It's like, oh, I came here last time and I brought people. They flew in from all over the country. I mean, all the time. We're like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Michigan. I'm from Washington. I'm like, it's kind of an honor to have these people that they travel all the way across the country, not for us, but they do come here. You know, there's
Well, yeah,
so many
if they're
restaurants they could go to.
traveling
Yeah.
and that yours is where they choose to go, I think that really says a lot. You know, something that you were saying as you were preparing this too, I know that you don't necessarily advertise this, but we were talking about things that you do for the public around the holidays, and tell a little bit more about that, because I think the community outreach is something that's really nice from a
Yes.
local restaurant.
Yeah, it's definitely, we don't believe in advertising. We take an advertising budget and we give it back to the community, whether it be, you know, schools, churches, you know, organizations like the Iberians or the Knights of Columbus. I mean, every organization, we did a mission trip with this church. We sent some kids to Jamaica to do a mission for their church where we donated pizza profits. And last year we gave about 25 turkeys for Thanksgiving.
That's so
we
great.
did Italian Fest at St. Gregory's where we provided the food, we provided the cooks, the labor, everything. So I mean, that's the community-based, you know, outreach that we do is important. It's an
Yeah.
important business model for us, as well as, you know, it makes you feel good that you're not greedy or you're not like, oh, let me take everything, and you know, it's not. That's
We
not,
love that.
That's
Well, I'll
not
tell you
our
what.
business model.
You go ahead and keep doing this. We're
Okay.
going to do a little bit more of the show here,
That's
and then, of
good.
course, we're going to be tasting here in just a
Yeah,
minute.
when we
but-
get back, well, I'll have this baked and ready to go.
Oh, that'll be so great. And this, of course, is all from Salvatore's Pizzeria and Italian Ristorante, 4876 Princess Anne Road in Virginia Beach. The number there, 497-7500, and 920 North Main Street in Suffolk, 539-6111. And you can also look online if you want to check out their menu and everything they have at salvatore'spizza.info.